Hi there, Dave Markham here. I got to tell you, I got the Suburban News October 30th edition this evening. It's Saturday. And somebody said, Patricia Connors, the Sweden supervisor, she's a candidate, has a letter in there. And she never names me by name, but she says my opponent. She mentions that she's running unopposed. But then there's, a write-in candidate. And of course, that's moi. That's me. Yeah. So, and as far as I know, I've been at public hearings and stuff, and I've heard Mrs. Connors speak, and she's heard me speak, but we have never had a personal conversation. I've never talked to the woman directly. I'd like to at some point, and I would invite her to have an honest discussion with me about the issues that face us in Clarkson and Sweden. I think that would be great. But she's never talked to me, and yet her letter... she says that this is what I think. Now, how she knows what I think, I don't really know. Maybe she comes to the Brock Porter and she watches some of my videos, or she reads some of my articles, or she's seen my ads. But as far as I know, we've never had a discussion. So when she says that she knows what I think, I mean, that's kind of scary. I don't know how she knows what I think. She thinks she knows what I think, I guess. But just because she thinks she knows what I think doesn't mean I think it. You know what I'm saying? So, I kind of worry about this. I don't know what it means when people think that other people think stuff, but don't bother to ask them what it is they actually think. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, there's a number of things she says in this letter that... while they don't upset me, I found them kind of amusing because she says I think things that I don't think. So don't believe what she says I think. If you wonder what I think, give me a call, 637-0040, or send me an email at davidgmarkham@gmail.com. I'm a very honest guy, and I'm very transparent, and if you're wondering what I'm thinking, I'm more than happy to tell you. But anyway, I'm going to go through this in a series of videos because she says I think this stuff that I don't think. So I just want to kind of clarify the record. So she says, I believe that every dollar levied as fire protection tax should be spent on fire protection. To do otherwise is dishonest to taxpayers. My opponent thinks it's okay to levy a fire protection tax and then spend it on something else. No, I don't. I never said that. And as a matter of fact, the Village of Brockport Fire Department doesn't levy taxes on Sweden and Clarkson residents. Did you know that? They levy taxes on Brockport residents. Yes, I pay Village of Brockport taxes. I also pay Town of Sweden taxes. But the Brockport Fire Department does not have the power to levy fire protection tax on Town of Sweden residences. Now, I'm sure Mrs. Connors understands this. At least I hope she does. What the Town of Sweden has is a contract, with a services contract with the Village of Brockport. Brockport doesn't tax Town of Sweden. Town of Sweden may tax their residents in order to raise the revenue to pay the fee that they contracted with Brockport to provide the fire protection service for. That could be. But that's up to Mr. Milner, or that's up to Mrs. Connors and the town board to negotiate the contract with the Village of Brockport. And once the contract's negotiated, then the Town of Sweden Town Board has to figure out the costs to make the payments on that contract. And yes, then the Town of Sweden taxes its, citizens accordingly, I guess. So it's up to Mrs. Connors and the town board to negotiate with Brockport on that services contract. Now, if Brockport can make a few bucks outsourcing its fire protection services, And there's nothing in the contract that says that Brockport can't make a few bucks on that and use it as a surplus in the general fund. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The town of Sweden has the lowest fire protection rate in Monroe County. And if Mrs. Connors thinks that's too high, she can go to the bargaining table and renegotiate it. So I don't know what she's talking about. She says, my opponent thinks it's okay to levy a fire protection tax and then spend it on something else. Well, that's very misleading. That's not what I think. And the thing that's a little upsetting to me is I think Mrs. Connors knows better. If she's paying attention. I don't know. Maybe she's not paying attention. You know, Trustee Blackman in the village of Brockport was saying silly things too. She hasn't got time to listen to me, you know. She can't listen to these videos, and she doesn't want the information. She's got her mind already made up. Well, hey, if Mrs. Connors thinks she knows what I think and doesn't want to really listen to what I have to say, I can't help her. And I would just say to you as the voter to be careful. There's a lot of misleading things being said. And the village of Brockport does not have the power to tax the citizens of the town of Sweden. So I don't know what she's talking about, that I think that it's okay to levy a fire protection tax and then spend it on something else. No, I don't. That's silly. Now, if you have a fire district, a whole other layer of government that does have the power to tax the participants in that fire district, and that's the only function that they perform, then obviously a board of fire commissioners is not going to be able to tax people for something, for anything other than for the purpose of running a fire district. That makes sense, except you got the fox in charge of the hen house. And the studies show that within the first 5 years of forming a fire district, taxes go up about 50% for fire protection. So Mrs. Connors is taking a very complicated, sophisticated issue, and she's oversimplifying it and telling people that she thinks I think things I don't think. Okay? So if you want to know really what I think and you're interested enough to actually study this issue, give me a call. I'm happy to talk to you about it. You know, I mean, I don't have any secrets. I'm an open, honest, transparent guy, and we're all in this thing together, and I'm happy to work with you on it. But I would ask Mrs. Connors, please don't put words in my mouth. You know, if you want to know what I think, ask me. I'm happy to share my thoughts with you. Okay? Peace. Thanks for listening to me. I'll have another video tomorrow, and we'll talk more about Mrs. Connors' thoughts about what she thinks I think and whether I really think it or not. See you later. Bye.